Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So in today's tutorial, we're going to be learning how to achieve this beautiful heart shape. So if it sounds like something you're interested to learn, keep on watching and let's get started. And please, if you're here to subscribe, kindly hit on the subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified anytime I upload new video. So let's dive right into today's tutorial. So guys, to start off with this tutorial, you need to draw a straight line across. It will serve as your starting line. Place your tape, then come down by your chest line or armhole depth, okay? So it is 7.5 inch for me. Under bust is 12.5 and my waistline is 15 inch. The full length plus the allowance is 17 inch, okay? So I'm going to now rule out the straight line here. Okay, after making or marking my straight line across, I'm going to place my tape again. Then I'll come down by my bust point, which is 9.5. I'll also mark my straight line. Then I'll label as chest line, bust point, under bust, the waistline, and AL. AL means the allowance. Okay, so on that line, I'm going to mark half of my shoulder circumference plus half an stitching allowance. I'll repeat the same thing on the chest line. Once I'm through with that, I will make a straight line this way using the 2 points I marked, and I'm also going to label as the shoulder line. I came down by 1 inch for shoulder slope and also marked 3 inch for my neck width. So I'm going to connect the shoulder slope to my neck width this way. Once I'm through with that, I'll place my tape on the armhole there, then I'll divide what I had left, mark the midpoint. On that midpoint, I will come in by half an inch, and on the chest line, I'll mark quarter of my bust circumference. Then I'll use my curve rule to connect the three dots I have here to give me an armhole curve. Okay, so once I'm through with that, I'm going to come down by 3 inch. This is for my neck depth. Okay, so I'm going to use my curve rule to connect the two dots I have. Okay, so I have a round neckline here. Once I'm through with that, on the waistline, I will mark half of my nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple is 7 inch, divided by 2 is 3.5, right? I marked it. Then after that, I'll use my stretch ruler to connect from the chest line to my AL. So on the chest line, I'll come down by 1 inch. Okay, then I'll subtract half an inch on both sides on the AL line, that is the allowance line. So I'm going to just connect this way. Okay, so this is for that intake. All right, so right now I want to achieve the heart shape on the center front. So from the bust point line, I'm going to come up by 1 inch. I made my point there. After that, I'm going to place my tape at 4 inch from that 1 inch I marked. You can see I came up by 4 inch from that 1 inch I marked. Then I made my point there. So once I'm through with that, what I'm going to do next is to place my tape from that point to the chest line. Is 3 inch. Then I'll divide by 2. Then mark the midpoint. Okay, so this is the midpoint here, and right now you're going to determine how wide you want the heart shape to be. So you can mark half an inch. When you open it up, you have 2 inch. So for me, I marked 0.75. Once I'm through with that, I'll use my pencil to try to achieve the curve. So I'm not going to start the sketching from that point. You can see I came down a little bit, okay, just to achieve this curve. Okay, so you're going to draw half of a heart shape. Okay, so you have to draw half of a heart shape just like you see me doing here. So I'll just achieve it with my pencil this way. Like I try to just get the curve, and I think I've gotten it already. So I'll use my marker to make it very visible, okay, for you all to see. So this is half of it. When you open it up, it will become full shape. Okay, so from that 1 inch mark, I am going to place my tape, then come down by 2 inch. Okay, so after that, I am going to use my ruler to make a straight line. Okay, from there you make a straight line. So I will label here as the yoke and label this other side as the body. Okay, so this is the yoke and this is the body. All right, so now I'm going to include my measurement. I marked quarter of my bust circumference plus 2 inch seam allowance. On the waistline, I marked quarter of my waist circumference plus 2 inch for allowance. Also replace the dot of 1 inch intake. So after marking, I'll connect the dots this way. After connecting this way, this is all. So I'm going to go ahead now to cut it out. Just look at how I'm cutting this out. Okay, So if you want to achieve a princess dart, you can also go ahead and achieve your princess dart. It's not must you do yours a normal dart. If you want to have a princess dart on yours, go ahead and do that, okay? So just look at how I'm cutting this. Can you see how I cut this? So after cutting, I will open it up so you see how it looks like. Can you see? We now have that lovely heart shape, okay? This is the full heart shape. All right, so now I have transferred to the actual fabric, and I gave at least half an inch for stitching allowance. Can you see? So I will now remove my pattern paper, and I'll just go ahead and open it up. So this is what I have here. For the yoke part, I cut like two piece. One will be the lining and one will be for the main fabric. I did the same thing for the body as well. In case you want to have a combination, you can, lining the body with another fabric, or you do it with lining, okay? So for the yoke, it should be the same thing with the fabric you used. All right, just for the yoke part. So guys, I already sewed the neckline, as you can see. So while sewing this, I didn't know my camera stopped recording after sewing everything, and I realized, so I had to, start afresh. Okay, so I already sewed the neckline like I said before. Have sewed the heart shape, and on the side you can see I have sewed the V shape as well, okay? Please take note of this space. Ensure after sewing the neckline and the heart shape, you have at least 1.5-inch space left. Okay, so when turning this yoke outside right, it won't be very difficult for you to do so, okay? So after that, go ahead and turn the body the right side, just like this. As for the yoke, this is why I said you should at least have 1.5-inch space or 2-inch, okay? So when turning the yoke outside right, it won't be very difficult for you. Okay, so I've gone ahead to turn it outside right, as you can see, and I use my scissors to bring that pointy edge out. Okay, so the next thing you want to do now is to place the body this way, just like this. Okay, so now bring your yoke. You're going to make sure the both seam align properly. Just look at what I'm doing here. This both seam, make sure the both seam align properly like this. Then go ahead and stitch with 1/4 inch. Okay, repeat the same thing on the other side of the yoke. All right, so I'll just go ahead and do that. So after sewing, guys, I had to trim it out a little bit, like the excess. I had to trim it out a little bit. So I did the same thing on this other side. Okay, so after trimming, I'll turn it outside right. So this was what I had after I was done. You have to do that so it will relax very well on that side. Okay, so the next thing I want to do now is to sew this side. Do the same thing for this other side. Now to sew it, you're going to place them the right side facing each other like this. Go ahead and sew. After sewing, I'll turn it outside right, then repeat the same thing on the other side. After sewing, guys, this was what I had. Can you see? I did the same thing on the other side. The next thing you want to do is to create your dart. Okay, so to do that, you have to fold your piece this way, fold it into two. Okay, after folding, you will place your tape from the shoulder, then come down by your underbust. My underbust was 12.5, but because I'm still going to join the shoulder, I marked 13-inch. Okay, then I also marked half of my nipple to nipple, which is 3.5. After marking, I'll place my tape. I had 3-inch length there, so I'll mark 3-inch on this other side. Also mark half of my nipple to nipple as well. So once I'm through with that, what I'm going to do now is to open it up this way. Then I'm going to hold the dart, one side of the dart. I will hold it this way, head over to my sewing machine, and I will stitch here with 1/2 inch. Repeat the same thing on the other side. So after stitching, guys, this was what I had. Can you see? So guys, we have basically come to the end of today's tutorial. Okay, so if you have the skirt part, like if you want to make it for gown, you can attach the skirt part and also join your shoulder with the back piece. Okay, so the purpose of this tutorial is just to show you guys on how you can actually achieve this heart shape, and have done that. And I also believe you know how to cut the back piece. If you don't know how to do that, I have a tutorial how to cut a half skip body. Okay, you can just go ahead and watch the tutorial. I will leave the link in the description box of this video. So guys, we have come to the end of today's tutorial. If this video was helpful, don't forget to share. Kindly hit on the subscribe button if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.